The champion's mind, what you said, right? For me, when I first started fighting, everyone used to say this thing, champion's mind, everyone's got to have a mindset. But I never really understood what mindset meant. Indian fighters have been losing internationally for the longest period of time.
Then I trained with all and like Abib's team when I was in Bahrain. You know, and maybe I was the first Indian trained with this all team. This is what, you know.
Piece of paper, tissue.
Will you use this?
No.
This is what?
Money.
Money, right?
Yeah. I do the same thing. So, Coach Muneer, it's really nice to have you on my podcast. I'm really honored to have you as my first guest. For the people watching, he's more than just a coach to me. He's my mentor. And for India, he is the reformer and one of the early fighters who's brought the sports of MMA into the country. So it's really nice to have you here, Coach.
It's a pleasure, Soma. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, so I remember the first time I saw you. I was in the state competition, Jiu-Jitsu state competition, and I was training with another team of mine at the time. And that was just when I started training MMA. And this was maybe my second competition. So this was, I think, 2023 January. And I remember seeing your team come. And I remember looking at all of you. I'm like, okay, these guys are cool. And then I knew you from just the MMA community, but I've never seen you before. And I wanted to get a conversation from you, but everything was so packed, I wasn't able to talk to you. But I was able to talk to Shebin and Ayan and Ayush and all of that. And that was my first interaction with your team. And from there, to be able to represent your team and to be able to represent the country under your flag has been a huge honor for me to fight under the BFC banner. And I really want to thank you for that opportunity.
It's my pleasure actually, and to have a student like you, and I'm more happy because you are most dedicated.
Thank you so much, Coach. Yeah, speaking of dedication, we have a lot of students in our gym who are training full time. We have Ayush, who's a really, really good fighter. He has a really good record, very well rounded. We have Shebin as well, and a few other guys who are all in on MMA, AJ, Kyle, all these guys who are really fighting. My first question I want to ask you, I wanted to, be an overlap of what your understanding is for these guys who you're teaching, what you see as a future for them, what are they training for, right? Because they put a lot of time in, and you as a coach, you also put a lot of time in. 4 or 5 hours a day we're training, and we're always analyzing every single thing that we're doing, making sure our basics are right. And what is your idea and vision for these guys?
Even any fighter, we should look at according to their age, and they are according to their dedication and their strength, agility, and understanding. This all matters and MMA reflects. And other things we can build it. Like with this also we can improvement will be there, but the same thing, certain things are there. Some guys need strength, especially you guys. I pocket on your legs certain that yes. Now that's the reason your game is changed. And if for everybody, and first thing I look at their age. Your guy is coming an 18-year-old or 12-year-old or like a 25-year-old. It's all according to their age, I look at them and what is their goal? Do they have a champion's mindset? If they have a champion's mindset, means they'll be highly dedicated, they'll focus on their game, that is their life. That kind of people, it's more easy for me to shape them and to make them as a champion. It's just cool. And as a coach, as a mentor, I need to guide them the right way. Now, I don't want to hold them. I want to send them to fly and conquer the world. That's how I shape them. That's the only things as a coach I learned from my dad.
Okay, that's a very interesting response, because the champion's mind, what you said, right? For me, when I first started fighting, everyone used to say this thing, champion's mind, everyone's got to have a mindset. But I never really understood what mindset meant. And there was a phase when all I wanted to do was fight. And I used to train as much as I could. I used to train alone. I used to train when no one was there. And I used to train with the team as well. And all I used to do was train. And that's when I kind of started understanding what champion's mindset is. Not saying that, not like to put myself somewhere, right? But to kind of understand that to do something great, you'll have to dedicate yourself and sacrifice a lot of things. Like even for me, right? For me to train, I'll have to sacrifice a lot of things. For me to train, I'll have to sacrifice time with my friends, time with family. And that's for all fighters, right? So when you say champion's mind, what does it really mean? Because it means different to different people. What does it mean to you?
My thing, what you told, that sacrifice. You have to sacrifice a lot of things, like, one is friends, family, functions, food, you sleep, like, everybody want to do everything, like, but a champion's minds with mean, like, they'll control everything, like, and they'll focus. That focus is really important. And what they're doing, that is really, really important.
So recently, I was, again, going back to what I said, I was honored to represent BFC in Serbia for the UWW World Championships.
Represent the country.
I represented the country and you as a coach. For what, like, to do both, I'm very honored. But we were 5 people representing India. So we had me in 57 and there was Ayush in 61, few other guys. We had Kyle in 83 and 2 other people. All of us lost our fights. We train a lot. We put a lot on the table and we spend a lot of money. We do a lot. We train a lot. But when we compare our level, and I'm not just talking about us as amateurs, right? Even if you look at professional fighters, recently we had a 0-5 record against the Pakistan MMA team in Brave that happened. We have been losing, Indian fighters have been losing internationally for the longest period of time. And I was never really able to understand why, because we have a huge population and we're not able to get any talent out of it. What do you think is the reason?
The one main reason is their guidance, education. I call that education. How to become a champion, how to become a standard fighter. This all matters actually, because their coaches has to guide them, like most of the Indians they are taking as a, like, I call as a feeder fighter. So others are, like, just giving to feed them, like, that's to build their record. Indians are not, like, in quality wise and, like, Indian levels is not that great, unfortunately. So to say that not all now, they need to focus on their basics. Basics is very important. That is how, like, everybody should focus. The basics are good, they can develop anything. Like on this building, we can't build Burj Khalifa. Right? Mm-hmm. But, like, Burj Khalifa's, like, base, you can build that like a properly. That's how, like, the base should be strong and good, and that's the main thing. And every coaches, like, in India, they want to become their fighters immediately to, like, transform as a pro. And they have, again, in India, there is so many promotions also. I'm not telling that is good or bad, but unfortunately, what, like, this many fighters are getting so many records. And they are not that level actually, and that's why they are getting and internationally they look, oh, Indians has a 10-0 record, or, like, has a 25 win record or something, like. But that's what is their amateur record? What is their condition? What is their muscle memory? Like, they need to make you drive a car, right? You know driving.
Yes.
You know how to drive.
Yes.
How you started. How hard but think so much. You can, like, scared, like, you are confused. Now are you confused? You text and like, drive, and you that much confident you are doing it. That's how, like, the fighter's muscle memory should be. Like, the reflex should be, the understanding, so distance management, and, like, there's all, and any kind of situation, that defense should be good. That's a very simple example I can tell you, like, oh, are you scared of tiger?
Yeah, of course.
You scared of tiger, am I right?
If a tiger is in front of me, I'll be scared of it. Yes.
Just go to zoo, and there is a cage is there, and tiger is inside, or you are inside the cage. Are you scared?
No.
No, because of the protection is there, am I right?
Yes.
That's how. Even, the fighters should know how to protect themselves. That kind of muscle memory they should have. If they have, they can good. That kind of fighter. Actually, their level is high, and the Indians are here. And you are thinking we can defeat Conor McGregor, we can defeat, like, Khabib, or, like, John Jones or whatever, like, imaginary world. That's not the real world.
Yes.
That's need to be changed, and they need to be guided properly. Then, of course, India has all kind of potential, like, all kind of genetics we have. We need to guide them properly. We need to take them. Don't put them in immediately into pro. and make sure they are doing like in a couple of years amateur and they have a more amateur record, like that good for them. And that's the way we should take them into transform into the pro.
Okay. That is okay. I understand your answer, but I have a follow-up question, right? Let's say we have guys who've been training from the age of 12 or let's say even younger, from the age of 8. They train kickboxing or let's say striking, MMA striking and MMA grappling. By the time they're 20 years old, they have a very well-rounded game. They can be both a striker and a grappler, right? But for people like me who started when I was 17, 18, and a lot of people start in their 20s, right? Is it possible for us to develop a game where we're well-rounded, as in we're not just limited to just striking or grappling by the time we go pro? Is that possible for athletes of our age?
Yeah, that's possible.
Okay. Do you think India has the infrastructure to provide that to us?
Infrastructure means we need to guide, or what is my goal also, what I'm gonna try as much as possible to educate the coaches, and they need to update themselves.
Of course.
That's what I wanted to do. And more promotion is good actually, to have more opportunities. Then more, more advantages are there for fighters. Now, the thing is the age. Age is what, this is all how I calculate. You're training a day 2 hours, a day 4 hours, it depends. And a weekly you're training 12 session and Sunday off. And you just calculate like that, in a year, if you're training every day 4 hours, you train almost 100 and 1152 hours, something kind of if you train regularly. Right. Some guys training only 2 hours, some guys training a weekly 2-3 sessions. It's all depends. That's how their muscle memory and confidence and everything. Now you are very regular to training. Yes. A few days you couldn't be on one session. Before you were training 2 or 3 sessions.
Yes.
And how I train you, not every day Indian sessions.
Yes.
My training pattern is completely different. I train only few sessions intense, rest all more technical, will know not many sparring.
Yes.
Not even 0 hours sparring.
Yes, you'll never
very light. People in the beginning people didn't like it actually. Many guys came from different clubs and they joined with us they couldn't adjust and digest that kind of a training. And now and I focus the same thing. How many times you're repeating the same?
Yeah.
Once.
Yes.
Once you're repeating the same again and again. And see, now what is the result? The result is what? Every day you're learning 10 techniques.
Right.
Do you remember? Or your muscle memory?
No.
It's not great. When now fighters training, if you train that way and focus on what is you should know, or your coach and your team should know what is your positive and negative. And improve, make better your positive things again and again, and make sure cover up the negative side.
Right.
And make sure it's backup. And how long it take, and what is it. If something is there, focus on the certain things. That's very important. Now technology is good. Now you can use your mobile, anything, take video, what I used to do with you. And it's more easier for us to cover the mistake. That's how you guys, that's what, performance is really important, and you should look at that. And that's the way we develop the fighters, and we can transform very good and high level as well.
Yeah, I remember this because exactly last year, this time, we were in Thailand. So it was me, you, Ayush, Shebin and Kyle. We had our training camp in Thailand.
Okay.
In Phuket, yes, in Taiwan striking. And we were there. And I was surprised because the highest level guys are training the same way that we're training in Bangalore, which means the training that we're doing is not wrong. It's just that the training that we're doing is not happening across India. Everyone just wants to go hard. They just want to spar all the time and just fight all the time. And they just have a very meathead mentality towards fighting. Whereas fighting is very technical. You have to use your thinking a lot. You have to use your brain a lot. You have to know when to push and when to pull back, because if you train hard every day, you're going to overtrain, and then you can't, improve yourself.
Many people has that mind, if I train every day, 5-6 hours hard, I'll become a stronger. Actually, the people will become more weaker, and their cardio, on the lungs, and all kind of it's just compare on our internal organs and machines.
Right.
The overload.
Yes.
So the same thing for our organs also, like, overload. It affects us and the development won't happen. And this, most of the Indians are like, and the immature guys, I told immature means like, we need them, I use that word immaturity. That because of the immaturity of the fighters and coaches, they do focus on like, more on the different techniques. And better they focus on one technique and make sure that primary and they are becoming master in that, you can use that.
Right.
That's the way if they train properly, they'll be really good. They'll change the entire game. Like, India has a high potential. What is that? Like, world population is almost is 80%.
18% yeah, world, yeah.
Like, the world population. That means like, 1.4 to 5 billion population we have.
Yeah.
And quality wise, quantity we have, but no quality. Right. But like, we need to change that. That's what I don't like, in our gym, any pros are there?
No, we don't have any pros in our gym.
That's what, like, we need to, like, I'll add on back on a certain thing. Depends on the advantage. Now I'm gonna organize this ABFC in India.
Right. Anthony,
Part of the organizing team. And see, I can put my whole fighters in the pro card. And I'm getting, like, I'm selecting the fighters and making the good fight card and everything. Like, it's good fight card. The same time, why I'm not putting my boys in the pro? They'll get good exposure, right?
Yes, that's
But I don't want to spoil their life. Am I clear?
Yeah.
There's a couple of reasons are there. Fighters are spoiling their life and they couldn't reach their level.
I'm going to talk a little bit about your fighting career and how you started off as a fighter. I think everybody knows that when you started off, you were a boxer. And from boxing, you transitioned to MMA. And even in MMA, in your fights in SFL and Brave, you have showed great boxing prowess. And I remember before joining BFC, I was watching your fights on Brave and on SFL, and in my mind, I thought at that time I was a really high level striker before joining BFC, right? But I was a terrible striker. I was very bad at striking. That was my worst point. Now I'm trying to make sure it's coming up, but yeah. So when I was watching those videos, I was like, okay, like there are levels to this game, and I was seeing your knockout against Pakistan that you had, which was incredible. Talk to me a little bit about your fighting career. How did it start, and how did you get yourself on the international stage?
I started when I was 9. Went to 9 to 10 that now. I started as a karate, very small. Then after few years, I moved to Kung Fu. Karate classes stopped and I started Kung Fu. And somehow, I saw the boxing and the Calcutta Stadium. There I started boxing. And I did 11 years boxing. I won, I did a lot of fights and, boxing. Then there is kind of stop happen in boxing because there's a lot of politics and, there's a Olympic sport. And I was one of the good in that time, boxing. I was very passionate. I was very strong as well. And I was doing coolie job when I was studying in college and all, I was taking sand from river, there's passes, I have to take care of my family. So many things are there. But, there is some bad things, what I felt really bad, or, thing from my coach, there is one coach, no life spoil your life. Actually, if I do boxing, you can. If I don't do boxing, I stop body tempo. There's nothing. When I stopped, couple of I didn't do a couple of months. I stopped only this. Then gradually I did keep boxing and and transformed to MMA. That kind of SFL start and I got certain upper and that. At time we started training in Calicut. We have a few groups 4 guys were there. We were training MMA. Then Mr. Ranchi, Shamprasad, Shampyasan, and Sharad Bapu. These all were SFL. We were a team actually and we were training together and we called that he used to take the lead and train us club base MMA and everything, and we used to train. We all were he was my senior in boxing, and we started like that and MMA, and we got an opportunity from SFL and everything. And there is also some politics and what was there, but I got some chance. Actually, I was a cutman.
That's a good name.
You're from nickname from before I used to call it smiling assassin. Smile. I used to smile always. It's and we were coming and I was a cool guy. And this transformed to this name was a Cutman. And I was doing at my job, and what happened was they, like, every Friday the fight night happens, and the live at times. And what happened, that fighter got injury. Then they asked me, like, oh, I was doing the bag work, then I said, Muneer, you fighting? I said, oh, yeah, I want to fight. I got an opportunity actually. Then I went to Kerala, and only 2-3 days I trained for that fight actually. But I was training regularly, but because of this cut my job, I couldn't, like, whenever I get time I trained, but I got this opportunity. Then I don't want to leave that, and I took it, and I won the fight at the first round as a beater. And yeah, that's how got an opportunity, and gradually, I was having, 6-hour record, and there, and then I moved to, I got opportunity from other promotions. There also, in this industry, in India, what had happened, many promoters are drinking fighters blind. That's what I said. Fighters are not getting enough money and very less amount, and most of the percentage you go to the the promoters or managers or whatever, they are taking 40, 50, whatever. Then fighters are getting peanut, and they get into it. They no money, nothing, not even having money to eat, be themselves or their family. It's really bad, and I wanted to change this, and especially there is a monopoly. I had an element, and I heard, and we made a team, and we started a federation, and that federation we changed a lot of things. I always as a rebel character in every way, I'm different likes it, and I'm so confident as well about the job, and I want to change. I'm more happy. Many people, they doesn't know how the changes happen because that monopoly and all change. That is, I was the one reason on Sulu, and I'm more happy, I can see the changes in India right now.
Yes. I want to talk a little bit about an experience that I had when I first started fighting. Actually, for my first fight. My first fight was in Siliguri in West Bengal. And yes, a week before the fight, you asked the gym who wants to fight. And I was the only one who raised my hand. And you and I went alone to Siliguri, and we fought that fight. And my mindset for that fight, I didn't care about I just wanted to go and enjoy myself, right? Even when I was warming up, I didn't feel any nervousness. I only felt the nervousness when I entered the cage, entered the ring. It was a ring at the time.
You were excited and adrenaline.
Yes, I had that feeling. But when the fight started, that went down. I was just flowing. That was my first experience fighting, right? My most recent experience was very different from that. What happened in this fight was, when I received the brackets for the guys who are fighting in the category, I went through all of their fights, and I saw the best guy in my category, the highest level guys from Russia, Ilya Rai, who I fought. And previous world champion, yes. So I watched all of his fights, and all I was doing was thinking about him, hoping to beat him. I thought I could beat him, right? But even in my mind, I'm like, he's very high level. And then I remember I was giving my weight, and in front of me, I saw him, and he's giving weight before me. And I'm like, okay, he's here now. I am going to fight him, right? And since giving weight till the fight, because I was booked, my first fight was with him. His first fight was with me as well in the tournament. So from giving weight till fighting, all I was doing was looking at him and just thinking about him, right? Even before walking out, in my mind, only he is there. I entered the cage, the mat. I was there, and the moment the referee said go, everything froze. And that is very different from what happened in my first fight. And I'm thinking of throwing a low kick. My leg is not moving. I'm thinking of throwing a jab. I remember you called me before the fight, and you told me to move around and circle around. I'm trying to circle around, but everything is stuck, right? And I was completely stuck there, and I lost that fight. I was finished in the first round. And then I thought back, and I thought why I lost, right? Maybe if I didn't take that pressure on me, I would have had a better performance. I would have still lost probably, but maybe I would have made it to the second round or the third round. The reason I'm bringing up this experience is because you are the first Indian to fight a UFC fighter. You fought Massey Fullen, right? And that is, from all the fights that I've watched of yours, you've always been very relaxed, even in the Massey Fullen fight. I watched the fight, and personally, obviously there's going to be a bias towards you because you're my coach, but even from an objective lens, I believe that fight was stopped early, and towards the end of the first round, I believe that was stopped early. And there was pretty good domination from your side in the first round. right? Did you feel that pressure of fighting a UFC level fighter because he's at the highest level, right? Did you feel that?
What I used to think of my mind, I got an opportunity to perform with a better guy. I have that crazy mindset trick to challenge you the better guys. Not take low level guys also I always wanted to try my say, the win and lose is another one. I always think about the performance. If I get a better guy, there is an opportunity for me to showcase my skill and to test myself. If you want to become a champion, you should train and focus on the better level. See, in the yard, many people will take the fight the low level fighter. And I always think in that time, it was really good as well. In the first round, I dominated actually in the first round, the first fight actually. But unfortunately, I got the clincher, at the case side, at the knee and face. That's a game change actually. But the referee, of course, that's a controversial stoppage. Only 2 seconds was there. Yes, there was 2 seconds left, the referee. But and then that blood came to my eyes and I couldn't see actually. The blood comes to the got a cut here and the blood came to this eyes and this eye also. Then I heard the horn and the clapper. I know it's gone up because I know I'm I worked as an official as well, and everything. I have a good experience and everything. And this is referee did all his stoppages but it's fine. He won the fight means I have to accept it and I appreciate but I enjoyed that fight. In each and every fight of mine I enjoy and I do good footwork, good movement, distance management. My positive things is I know I have a good striking and my foot moves accordingly and unexpected strike and all I can throw and this is all and I'm so strong and striking my hands especially very hard. And people, if once is connect, I know the game change. And there's all the things, but I always think about my performance. Win and lose is another part. If you think about the way you lose, win, you'll have a lot of pressure. But always think about your performance. Oh, this is an opportunity for me. Okay, this is good. Watch champion. Okay, let's see. I want to give my best. Take it that way and enjoy. Fighters, other people will only look at oh, he lost or he won. That's it. When you own this rap or a loss, they'll have a lot of complaint. They'll demotivate you, the words and everything. But always the fighters look at their best performance. Oh, I got a chance. Okay, let's go and fight. I want to this. Yes, I need to use it. That's why you can avoid that pressure.
That's a very good response. You've won a lot of fights, right? You had a very high finishing rate as well. But there are fights you've lost also. And as a fighter, I have lost fights. How do you accept your losses and make sure your losses don't destroy you? Because sometimes when I lose, I would like to believe that I have certain confidence to myself, right? But when I lose back to back, that confidence breaks. And then it's hard for me to even come to training. It's hard for me to put my heart into it because after that, if I feel like I'm going to lose again, I'm going to be hurt, right? I'm saying this because I want to know how would you deal with losses?
First of all, I lost with all better guys. I don't need to deal bad at all because that's a good experiment and good friends for me actually. I'm learning from my loss. I'm not thinking bad about that actually. I know they're good. That's why we are trying to fight with the better guys. No, want to make better? You want that position means you should reach and you should conquer that. That's the thing about oh, I lost with a better guy. If I lose with the lower level guy, I feel of course bad actually. Because that's on maybe my level. Right. Nowadays you heard about this Manawalan issues. Manawalan, yes, yeah, it's a big news system. The people are thinking I'm challenging. No, it's not challenging. It's an offer. I can't challenge this boys or my boys can't challenge it because it's completely different concept. I offered him. Okay, you do one thing because of him. There is one positive happened to MMA community in Kerala because many people doesn't know and youngsters also doesn't know about MMA and who's the real MMA community. And because of him, it's got a good reach and advantage and people start searching about the right people. It's a good advantage. I'm thinking in the positive side. Not the negative side. I always think positive. Even the lose also. Even this way you lose. You fought with a Russian fighter that was a previous world champion. How do you want to feel bad? You should think about like, I forgot that guy, but only things was, you didn't because your legs were dead. Because you were worried actually. You were tense, like, had panic. Avoiding that panic. I mean, you should think of it this way. Okay, I got an opportunity. Oh man, let's go do our best performance. And try, use your weapons. Whatever we train, try to use. There was the opportunity, like, whatever you trade, you can use your weapons and you can try, oh, my weapon is good, it's sharp, it's connecting, like, That's why you think different way and set the mindset like that. It'll be really good. It'll take you the high level.
I got it. I want to talk a little bit about your technical aspect of your game. You started off as boxing and you carried boxing into MMA as well. And you had a boxing base in MMA. But you've also had submission victories, right? How were you able to bring grappling into, because you never did grappling before boxing, right? So how were you able to bring that grappling game up to your striking level?
I did grappling also, actually, during boxing time. Oh, because my old boxing coach knows like good wrestling.
Wrestling, okay.
Actually, we used to do a little bit wrestling that time. Like, you didn't carry it, but that time some wrestling competition, district levels and state level competitions, our team we used to train actually. But I focus was mainly as a competition as a boxing. Always, I prefer like, the MMA or whatever fighters want to take career, focus on one thing. Well, you want to MMA, you should learn everything. But many fighters, they will try to compete all competitions. I don't prefer that actually. You can try sometimes, but focus on the one thing. That is good actually. You got it. And I tried like, that time I had like, some sort of thing, and I have a good strength as well because I did a lot of coolie works.
Yeah.
Like, that advantage I have actually in my body, my strength, even my neck and everything. A lot of that kind of advantages I have. Still, I'm feeling that good. Boxing advantages are like, footworks and my speed, agility, quickness is all the advantage. And when I moved to MMA, I started learning jiu-jitsu, and that time jiu-jitsu is not that great, but still I got an opportunity when our SFL was there, there was some foreign trainers and all from abroad, and the coaches were here, and urban Indian coaches, Miss Alan Fernandez, and all were pretty good. And we used to train there. I was an assistant trainer actually. As far as striking, and SFL was there. So SFL boot camp, training camp was there, and I was assistant trainer and a fighter. That's how I got a good opportunities. Then I trained with all and like Khabib's team when I was in Bahrain. And maybe I was the first Indian trained with his all team. That's from in India. There's Bahrain, the other people were there Atif and Shahid and all. But I got a good opportunity to train with Dagistanis. They have a lot of friends in Dagestan. Most of the Khabib Stanley and friends and all are my friends actually. And that's all my grappling advantage actually. But I still use, I don't want to go in ground game actually because I have a more advantage in striking. Right. Use the striking, whatever your advantage. Don't go to the, the negative side. Use your positive things. And I'm not a grappler at all. Yeah, but still I can grapple and I get.
Yes, your grappling, I've rolled with you, and you are very high level in grappling. People think,
It's okay, I can.
People think that you're just a striker, but if they roll with you, then they'll know that it's not just striking. And about your grappling, this specific thing, you know how to put pressure. Right?
That's my game actually.
You know how to hold someone there. And once someone is stuck under you, it's pretty hard to get out of that situation. Yes, that's...
I learned this thing from Dagestanis actually. They train me because see, what I believe wrestling, jiu-jitsu, or do I believe MMA jiu-jitsu, or MMA wrestling.
Right.
This concept I like actually for MMA, not just wrestling or just grappling, because this concept is completely technique and application is completely different. That's what we want to focus. Now MMA became a separate sport.
Yes.
And training itself separately. Now are you training only boxing every day?
No.
Are you training only grappling? No. We are training as MMA now. It's a grappling for MMA, striking for MMA.
Right.
That's clear.
Yes.
So there's a grounded pound and everything. It's completely like a package and training for MMA.
Right.
The game is changed now. You should understand that. Before I trained different. Now it's changing because I have experience. Now my students are getting benefited because of I spent almost 11 years doing boxing and other martial art and MMA. Now my boys are improving like cube.
Yes.
Because they are not tasting anything. I already done all mistakes.
Right.
Don't think I got everything I made a lot of mistake. Then from that mistake I learn a lot. That's
Right.
it's good for my students.
That's great. India has good boxing. India has good wrestling as well.
Too for sport is really good in India.
Yes. But, and even like now we have Nishan Dev, who's a very high level boxer, 4-0 in his professional career. What do you think about India's jiu-jitsu now in 2025? Do you think it's getting to an international level, or is it still low?
Still low.
Still low.
Because there is a reason is in most of the Indian coaches, either they are getting few seminars or most of the reality what I'm doing, most of them are getting syllabus and everything in the videos from some coaches. That's only the option. We can't complain about that. That's the things. And we don't have many black belts here. And you go to any other countries, in one club you can see so many black belts and so many. Even we have. Even I'm talking to some Dagistanis in the recent side people actually to get some good grappling based MMA coach here. But I know I also have in it. I should accept and understand. Otherwise, that's what I tell you. I told my boys actually, why the fighter there is not improving. There is two reasons. One is the fighter is not focusing properly and not dedicating properly. He is not concerned. Another one, the coach is training wrong.
Right.
The two reasons. The fighter is not, he should change himself. The coach is wrong, then he should change the coach.
Yes.
That's really important actually. The fighters should understand that's the reality. If you train your coach, I'm doing wrong and you're not having any improvement according to your dedication, you should think yourself, what is that? Right. And now because I've trained you.
Yes.
This is the thing we have to train all fighters and coaches. Right. To understand. And this and will change. This is how even India, the jiu-jitsu or anything, need to have them. Or you need to get somebody. Now, see, you go to GCC. Now, many Brazilians and Russians, Americans are all there. But in India, it's not like that. Indian government is not supporting the sport.
Yes, true.
And they're not focusing. They're focusing more on cricket. Cricket has money. Monopoly. Unfortunately, it's a private body. But still, cricketers are heroes. Right. And world is not like that. World heroes are like fighters, footballers and all. Yeah, I feel like only cricketers.
Yes.
That's okay. For them it's fine. But other sports they're pushing now. That's not right.
That's true. So, let's say a student who's learning MMA, he wants to move to a different country to spend, like how we went to Thailand to spend a couple of weeks there to understand how international training is like. Would you recommend, fighters to go to, let's say, Bali or somewhere in the GCC, or if they have money to the US or Brazil, to these countries to spend maybe 2 months to train MMA from people from not just high-level coaches, but from high-level training partners as well? Do you think that is something people should do as students?
Actually, that is, you want to honest answer?
Yeah.
From my experience?
Yes.
That's what you're looking for?
Of course.
That's the reality is what, If I'm calling you, if I saw your skill, you're good, then I'm a coach, somewhere, you come to my place, I'll help you. Then the coach will, because he saw your potential. Otherwise, the coaches will take money from you and they'll train you for money.
Yeah.
The reality.
Right.
That's what do you want? You want to go and you want to tell everybody I'm training in Dagestan, I'm training in Bali, I'm training in USA. No, the coach is selecting because that's when you perform good and coach realize, okay, this guy is good. Example, I got an offer from Canada.
Yes. Canadian, yes.
So the Canadian coach told, where do you train? Why? Because he saw the potential and his base, his style of fighting. They saw his age is what? Okay, 22, 23, and his style is this, his strength and this, okay, skill is this, okay, this guy has a potential. And yeah, so you interested, I can help you. I know this is gonna happen. You know, my boys will get offer. Why, you know? Because you have a skill, you have a good base.
Right.
People, eyes will be there. If you do perform, win and lose, it doesn't matter. Oh, this guy's potential. People will look at that way. And that's how you want to go abroad. That coach should, or you should go there and train with them and to earn the coach's heart,
Right.
if I want to train you, and you should earn my heart. And I should train you from my heart, not just for money. I don't train you guys for money actually.
Right.
Money is another things. I will go like any club want to survive, to pay the rent and things, salaries and all. But you should want to learn the right technique and everything. You should earn my heart. Then I train from you my heart. You will come every day. Why I started focusing on you? Now I got your money or something, you think? How many fighters I could know? I can't train you. I can't have openly. Why, they didn't earn my heart.
Right.
See, that is a relationship, coach and student. And what I do, I focus on that. Oh, I know this guy used to. I saw you couple of times. You're like in the morning and evening. You're 3 times, and I know. Okay, you need my to guidance and everything training. That's how I focus, and I start noticing your one by one mistake. Then if I'm there, I will focus. If I'm not there, I will make sure you get in focus of my senior students.
Yeah.
I told Shapin, Ayush, Arjun, this all senior boys used to take care of you. You will not understand. I know what is my plan. Every good coach will have their own plan to build their students. That's the reality. That's how this we focus. And any coach, you go abroad also, this is really important. Many fighters, they doesn't know. They'll go with Thailand. You this example. We went to Thailand.
Yes.
We did minimum 1 lakh, 1.5 lakhs for a month training.
Yes.
And how many months you can survive like that?
Less. Money is very important.
See, you saw that. We went to different clubs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fight club, that I can find. So many clubs we went.
Yes.
Everywhere, what is so?
Yeah, money.
Like commercial training.
Yes,
Not commercial training. People are just going for fitness and enjoy any fun. No. Did I told you to, okay, we'll train in Phuket or Tiger Muay Thai? No. Then I went and spoke to Mr. Coach Armak and Thaiwas. Then I asked him personally, I requested, I need your help and this thing, my boys are here for training camp. I need this kind of things, and we had a discussion before, that's how they help us. And if Mr. Armak helped me, this is your club, you can use as your club, you're most welcome.
Right.
Yeah. That's the difference, and we got good training. And now you know what is the difference of commercial training and fight training. Yeah. If you are going in one session, they have to pay 2,500, 3,000 baht. And or more.
Yes.
How many people can afford 1 hour session like that?
Not penny. Yeah.
It's reality. Penny doesn't know. And just so many Indians are there in Phuket and you tell me any top level fighters are producing from Thailand?
No.
Why? And there is a reason. You go to Thailand, and Thailand club will offer you training, free training, but they will tell you where to fight. There is a betting happen, and every club will send the fighters to this events. Even I am an organizer. I have a brand called Body Post Fighting Championship.
Right.
And I organize other events as well. Even APFC. I support all Indian promotions. But this shouldn't happen. I'd never let you to fight here and there. I like a fight. And probably you fight here or you don't fight. That's the way coach has to guide.
Right.
You got it. This is where you go abroad and you understand the coach is giving you an invitation to come. Then there is a chance he will take care of you. Otherwise, you will not get his attention.
Of course.
They will have their own fighters and good quality fighter. They will have both. For example, I have a hope on my fighter. I focus on them most.
Right.
That's the reality. Let me be honest. That's true.
So you started off initially as a boxer to MMA. From there, you moved on to being not just an organizer, but also a judge, a selector for the Indian national team, and a lot of other things. Right? You've organized multiple national championships. You've recently organized a pro card as well. Right? I'm assuming you have a pro card coming somewhere next year. How was that transition for you? And what is your future vision for India with the moves that you're making with your current actions?
One good thing is my experience actually. I'm 41-year-old now in this 32 years of experience. You know, that's a very big advantage what I am having now. And I have done this all things, fighter, coach, referee, organizer, selector, team with their coach, and our international technical official. Like, yes, I've worked in this industry, Cutman, everything, like most of the. That's my big advantage, and I transformed into organizing, and I was a part of organizing team. And in India, Brave came big events, and I was a part of their organizing team. Brave India, Kumite One League, now APFC, BFC, and so many SFL. It's all thing I was a part actually, and it's all I have a good advantage. Then I started what it was fighting championship as well. As an organizer, I want to change and educate the athletes and settle their life and to give them more opportunity and value, and the right value. That is my main vision, and more job opportunities. Now I'm more happy because whoever with us, they are having job, they are living better life than any other fighters. Right. They're in their life, when they are dressing and their lifestyle, they're living completely. You just look at compare our BFC fighters, and I'm not telling others are bad, but comparatively our fighters are far better. Even still they are amateur.
Yes, I agree with that.
That's what I want. I want much better. And many other international promotions has to come India and should have more promotion. It doesn't matter BFC or I help all now, Ronin FC and any other promotion they ask help, I help them. If I have more money, I'll support them. I'll give them sponsorship or support also. Because more event happens, more opportunities. This sport will grow more and more bigger. That's good. And good talents weekends, talent search and all will be much easier. And India will become much better and bigger. Of course, it's gonna become an Olympics and when amateur and pro, lot of changes will happen. A lot of heroes will come, champions. That's my dream and ambition.
Do you think India will get a UFC champion?
Of course. Of course, I can tell you one name. When our club, Ayush, mindset, champions mindset. I have never seen that many guys champions mindset. I'm telling one example. We have more. Our club itself. Example Basil is a world champion already. And there is so many are there and everybody, when you are, everybody has that mindset and dedication. Why I'm focusing on Ayush means according to his age and training, IQ, speed, power. This all compare and he is ready to stick with amateur.
Yes.
That is how many others, he already defeated so many pros in India, in amateur actually.
He has, yeah.
But still he's amateur, others are they are, who he defeated, they all are pros now. That's how the education is important, the guidance.
Right.
Now, this India, of course, India will get better or championship title and all, but it takes some times. The coaches need to get guidance because many gems are there, diamonds are there, but selecting different coaches have, but they don't know what is the potential. They are not using the right way.
Right.
The ways are there, right and wrong, or to take it as a right way, and the diamonds are down, we get it and shape it and keep it in the jewelry and all its value. If there is any value. No, this is fighters are like that. I always said there is some advice I'll give you the last all the fighters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about weight cutting because I have a friend who fought at IFFC 2 recently, and what happened to her was she wasn't aware of how to cut water weight, and she did a drastic cut of not just water but putting too much pressure on herself physically. And because of that, she was taken to the ICU and she had brain bleeds and a lot of things. It was very bad. Her body went numb. Now she's good. She's recovered. I don't know if she's training. She's 1 year younger than me, I think 20 years old. So I want to know how should fighters safely cut weight? Because all of us walk around at a higher weight, right? We have to carry 8 kilos, some of us 10 kilos, right? So what's your advice to fighters?
No. See how many our amateur fighters are cutting almost 10 kgs.
Yes.
In our club. 10 kgs they're cutting and they are achieving and they're performing. All right. Do they have any problem like this?
Nope.
No. They're very comfort. That's called as guidance and experience. Because first thing, we when we want to start a weight cut and how many kgs we can do or like a water cut and how to fill the water loading and how to cut the water cut. This all matters actually. Most of the fighters that don't have any idea. And cutting too much water cut is not a good idea. It'll affect the internal organs. Even this we have a visceral fat and internal fat, this all very important for our body. Right. It can't be pepper skin or zero fat concept. I don't know. This is a wrong concept actually. Many people use and other things as well, Lasix and other tablets to cut weight and water cut. This is all affect and sudden water cut and they can't perform. Ultimately, why you people are training and doing weight cut?
And to fight.
To perform.
Right.
If they couldn't perform, and what is the use?
Makes sense, yes.
Yes. And see, that is how people are wrongly guided and they don't have. If they don't have, and they should ask somebody who knows, who have a better experience and knowledge. And I'm not telling I have all kind of knowledge. Still science and everything is changing and better knowledge. And I'm also updating myself to help my athletes and guide them.
Right.
This is how first you need to change the food habits and to change and focus on especially take a 2 months period for amateur or 45 days or 2 months period is a good way. What I say I prefer if they have a lot of weight, even 8 kg, 10 kg and all, sudden weight cut and cut some kg and maintain that weight for some days, then cut again. Gradual cut is is more easier. And there's some people muscle loss also will happen.
Muscle loss.
The joint dislocation, the performance strength, everything will affect.
Yeah.
You should know, we should measure everything actually. And how it is that is very important. That's why they do weight cut. And it'll be good and they can perform really good. Otherwise, what is that's your friend experience. Well, she had a very bad experience.
Very bad.
She shouldn't have. I also had one of my friend has this happened actually when I was in rape and very, very bad cramp and then survive was very different way. And actually, I have a friend as a doctor and then I called him and he had a high cramp. You can't even imagine that kind of a cramp. He fell from the bed and he couldn't get up. It's very bad. And that time I realized, okay, this is that bad actually. Then I changed. That's open. Actually, I don't know. I do 13 kg weight cut or 12 kg on my fight. And I used to perform really good and I was so happy and good. You can see as in if I do sudden, I don't do much water cut actually. That you can see by there. And after weight 65 and the fight time I'll be 72, 73. That's how I change.
Right.
I know how to manage that way. And I perform. It's good. People should know that.
Yeah.
This is a big advice I want to give to all athletes and coaches. Need to be careful. People will die also. Internal organs will get damaged. Brain, liver, kidneys. A lot of damage will happen. They shouldn't do this kind of a weight cut. It's completely wrong.
Right. For us as athletes in 2025, we have mobile phones and we have laptops and we have the internet from where we can get a lot of information. Maybe right or wrong is different, but we get information and we have access to information. In your time as a fighter, it was very hard for you to, get information from professional fighters who, know how to really cut weight or know how to really, train properly, right? What were some of your struggles in understanding how to learn the sport? Because without information, I mean, if you take away all of our access to the internet in India, we're still low level. Because we have some access to the internet, we're able to actually see what others are doing, right? Maybe we won't be able to do it to that level. At least not right now. But we're at least able to see it. But when you were not even able to have that access, how did you bring yourself up to this level?
That was in the beginning. It was really hard to get 3 to 4 kg. Also, it was really hard for me, and to maintain everyday weighing 4-5 days. National boxing competitions or state competition, everyday weighing will be there. It was to cut 2 to 3 kgs was really hard for me actually, and now it's changed and everything because of my experience and gradual experience. I made a lot of mistakes and I didn't know. or that is I'm making a mistake. And from but I know one thing, I did that was mistake, and this is a better one. But still, maybe I can't say that is 100% right. But I can say one thing, I did a lot of wrong thing. Now I'm doing much better thing. On the weight cut, and this is all my own experience.
Okay.
I used to say I'm not a textbook boy. I'm myself a textbook because of my experience.
Yes.
I have very bad and good experience both. I learn and experience, and I'm helping others.
That's a nice answer, but I want to talk a little bit about myself as a fighter, right? For me to afford fighting, it's not very difficult because I have a steady salary and that allows me to fund my training and fund my competitions and all of that. With that, I have the support of my family, right? But a lot of athletes in India do not have that financial support. They'll have to look at other avenues, sponsorships, brand deals, things like that, for them to fund their competitions. Training, I mean, if your coach is good to you, he's gonna train you for free, right? Sometimes. But for them to get sponsorships and to get brand deals and for them to make money to train, right? What would you recommend?
First thing, as everybody, the certain stages struggle. They should struggle. There is no other options. Because in India now, it's very hard. Not even 0.1% people will do sponsorship. It's really hard. You know that. It's don't expect that first thing. Focus on your training as much as possible, as whatever is possible ways. And another thing, focus on certain point as a training and some motivation or concept on social media. Nowadays is a lot of other advantages out there. Maybe the coaches can help you sponsorship for training. But and the coaches also don't have much money.
That's a very big fact.
As a coaches, where do they have money? Example now, Bangalore situation. The rental is what, 2 to 3 times higher than for 3 years rental has gone really high. And how to manage that kind of a situation? Coaches also struggling. Whoever has a gym owners and all is struggling, and they can't help. But I'm trying to help my side, was really good and helpful. That's how even trying to get sponsorship, because I have a couple of contacts, good people are surrounded, and I ask their help to support my athlete. That's how is getting small help and everything, and I'm a part of federation as well. This is it. But most of the coaches don't have that kind of contacts, experience and everything. They can't help. But the fighters has to survive. There is no other options. Sorry, I can't. One word I want to use. This is India. This is like that only. It's not gonna change so easy.
Yes.
Because our sport is like that. Struggling. We should struggle. Then otherwise there's nobody can do. But nowadays another option is what? They can use their social media the right way. They shouldn't get addicted or to that way. Focus on what is their goal, and that way they focus. They use the right way, and everybody should guide it that way. Now see our boys are people are getting earnings also.
Yeah.
There's reels and all they're charging. Couple of thousands they're charging and they're getting paid. They need to say how boys are charging good amount for personal training. And I don't let them to train so many clients. I told Ayush, okay, you can train only 2 clients a day. In the 2 hours you can spend for that. Rest all you need to rest and self-focus. Because you want to make them or sharpen or things. And they have value. People, they want their training because they have knowledge. I'm giving knowledge to them. They can train them. They can earn money. Right. That's how. Whatever they paid in this 3-4 years, they earned in 2 months.
Right.
That's how our boys are earning really good. Their life is changed. This is the only the option. That's what I told you. The fighters couldn't turn as a coach, or they shouldn't open a gym. Why means the business is different. Business means they have to focus on the salary, payment, money is coming or not, lot of tension. What is that? Ask, either you don't know, you ask your dad. Dad will have a lot of tension, but others will not have that tension. Right. He has to pay hundreds of people's salary. And every month on time. Even I have to pay salary. And I become a businessman or coach or started gym after my retirement, not before that.
Right.
My business is different. You can't focus on your training. Fighters shouldn't focus as a coach or student open a gym. Once they made their name AIM as a brand, and they have that kind of a knowledge, then they can start a gym. That's the right way. You got what I mean? That's the reality. They do that and they can settle their life. What they do, fighter, when they have a name, some name and all, immediately they open a gym. Somebody will tell, I'll invest the money in people, then they can earn. No, their life is get stuck. Many Indian fighters are very good talent. Guys got stuck because of this reason. They shouldn't do that. I shouldn't let my boys to do that actually. I help them the different way and I guide them. That's why they are okay. They are performing. They shouldn't have tension and pressure.
Yes.
Focus should be on training. The mind should be free.
Yes.
You got it. And this is all the way if you focus, they can earn money also. And they don't need to worry. They make sure they are independent. Dependency, avoid the dependency. And to become independent. And they can do. And then people will support. Gradually.
Speaking about making gyms, right? When I first started fighting, I had an issue of finding the right gym to train at. Right? I had to do a lot of digging because at that time, BFC was not very active on social media. So I just had to look at the fighters who are fighting out of there and be like, okay, these guys are doing a good job internationally and nationally. I can learn a lot from these guys. That's how I found BFC, right? But in India, we have this huge problem of not knowing how to find the right gym. Obviously, there are really good gyms in India. Few in North, few in Bangalore, right? There are some in Chennai, but
Very few.
very few, right?
So in reality.
But for an athlete who's just starting out, right? How would he find a gym to train at that is training pure, like realistic MMA?
In India, actually, in even Northeast or Mumbai or in the South India or very few coaches are focusing to develop a good athlete. Is the reality. Very few coaches. Only count and we need to find a good coach is the really hard part. That I told you, and they should have understanding and things. And look at that, what they made. Every fighters can't become a good coach and good mentor.
Yes.
That is another quality. Fighter, you can't. There are so many champions are there. They all are good coaches. And the all good coaches have everyone is champion. Even Conor McGregor, like Coach Kavanagh made by Conor McGregor. But in Coach Kavanagh's all students are like Conor McGregor. No, right?
Right.
It's all. So understanding is very important, and there is a lot of things. And so you want to become a champion. You should have your goal. You should know. And see, coaches means is a support for you, help for you, and you should know. You shouldn't take that coach also. Right. He should guide you. You shouldn't look at your money or something. And see, talent. And to guide and how to build, to focusing, dedicate time and repeating, there is a big process actually. In India, unfortunately, we don't have so many high knowledge coaches and the coaches don't have a high experience also and to guide them in the right way. And this is all we need to connect and work actually. Who has more experience to help others also. And that's what I does actually. I'll help other coaches also. And I guide them. And I guide their students also. And that doesn't mean the other students can come and train my club and couple of months is okay. But sometimes I'll feel like, their basics are good, then is okay. Sometimes some many fighters have noticed they have to do unlearn and learn process. Whatever their muscle memory is really hard to change. That's what had happened to you also at the beginning. You're striking, you thought you're a great striker.
Yes, that's what.
When you came to our club, I taught you what is jab and how to throw a proper jab. Maybe mine is not 100% right or not, that is different one. But I train you what is jab and how to throw, what is advantage and disadvantage and how many variations of jab I've trained you. Like cross I've trained you. The variations and what is the difference and advantage if you stick and how many months you stick with that things, But why you did that? Because I have explained, I detailed you. This is called detailing.
All right.
About the one technique. People should have that kind of knowledge and experience.
Okay.
That's what coaches should have. That many coaches doesn't have that kind of thing.
Okay. I have another question. Okay. A lot of people say Indian athletes or just MMA athletes should be very active in fighting. As in, fight every 2 months or fight every 1 month. Right? What do you have to say about that? Because for me, There was in 2025, I had up until now one fight. And I believe that I could have had a few more fights throughout the year. Maybe not once a month, obviously, right? But I could have had a few more fights throughout the year. Obviously, a few fights fell off, and that's part of the sport, and I've accepted that as the part of the sport. But what do you have to say to these people who say, okay, we have to fight every month or every 2 months?
One is every month if you're fighting depends on your condition and your injury and what is your goal. Every month fight is like not like that actually. People are telling every month fight or every week fight. Not going to change you much. Maybe of course experience is one thing, and another one where and how you're fighting. And which stage of fighting. You're fighting every month and in the club competition, every month you're competing. We are record built. What is the use? You should try to fight with the better guys and better guys. For that, you need a time also. Sometimes you'll get a flash or hard hit on your head and you will not understand. Maybe flash also won't happen, but internal damage will be there. And this, you just hit like this, the brain will shake actually. Brain is like, jelly.
Right.
Getting beaten in the real fight, the training, or a technical sparring or a hard drill is different. They're not going to make damage because it's making muscle. But that you are trying with somebody in the real fight, you will try to hit harder. He will also hit harder. You will not understand because one guy died in Bangalore and Chennai and different places. Because what they do back-to-back fights. And they don't know what is the internal damage. And they don't know. And even the doctors also not not trained for this kind of a sport. Now what we used to do, the doctors come, we used to guide them and how to manage the kind of situation and injuries. Because I have a good experience like Cutman.
Yes.
There's a couple of years I have done that. And this is how fighters, a head injury and a lot of things is very important. I saw one fighter from India itself. I don't want to mention, he was my student as well. And he became my student after. He came to here, Amsterdam, the World Championship. Just 3 days before he fought and he had a very bad knockout in one competition. From there, he directly came to World Championship and representing country. And don't mind, it's not good, it's not but still, there is a mention. Is any knockout happen 1 month, 2 month, 3 month? You have to fill it that form actually. In that, he mentioned no. And I told him, that's wrong, man. You can't fight. You already you need a break. That time, maybe you had I told the guidance really strong, bad actually. They shouldn't do that because it's a life.
Yes.
Back-to-back fighting, coaches can do because now in India, there is a one bad thing is what is happening, people are doing amateur fight. And I heard about this and I really, I'm really against that kind of. They charge 2,000, 3,000 rupees as a registration fees. And they pay that to 25% to the coaches. And the fighters are fair. Example, I'm getting I have a 50 students. I'm putting my all 50 fighters in and I'm getting was 3,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees and I'm getting 500 rupees. 500 into 50 means 25,000 I'm getting.
Yes.
And you don't know about that. And this is things and every competition you can see there's so many competitions are happening, so many fighters, are they good or bad? And another thing is they are not training enough. In Kerala one thing happened.
Yes.
He told he trained only 7 days or 6 days. Ooh, what kind of a coach he has? Do you think I allow you or my students to fight like that? No. Until I only trained for 6 days, that's why I fought they think that is a great thing. They're the idiots.
Yes.
Idiots actually, I want to use that word because they're not trained, they think that is completely wrong.
Yes.
And this kind of things are happening in India. I don't know about other countries, but India, of course. And that shouldn't happen. This is how fighters are misused. Your concept is your question is what, every month or every week or every. It depends how are you ready or not and what kind of a fight how you're going to prepare for one fight. It all matters. Experience, of course, is good. But depends on the stage and everything is matters. That's how the coach should guide or mentor should guide. You want it?
I got that. When I started with this podcast, the idea of me starting a podcast was to bring the truth of Indian MMA onto any social media platform, right?
Yes.
And I would like for a lot of Indian athletes to be watching this. And I'm assuming a lot of Indian athletes are going to be watching this. And if you have some advice for them, what would that be?
You saw this, no? This is what,
Piece of paper, tissue.
tissue paper.
Yes.
It's a paper, right? Will you use this?
No,
Why?
it's crumbled.
It's carbon mean.
Yeah.
This is what?
Money.
Money, right? Yeah. I do the same thing.
I doing it. This is money. This is value.
This has value. You throw it anywhere, people will take it and clean it, build the pocket or wallet. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. Every fighters, they're like a paper. They should value like a currency, not like a tissue paper. That's a great advice I want to give all athletes. You shouldn't be tissue paper. Should be a currency. People will throw you, use and throw. Shouldn't have it. Should have the value. That's what I learned in my life. You got it?
Yes. So, I've been training under you for 2 years now, and I hope to be training under you for a very long time. I love being part of your team. I love being your student, and it's really great to have you here.
One more thing I want to tell you that, but was just one add-on.
Please,
What
stages.
See, you want to be with me means what? You want to train only under me?
No.
No. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, my goal is to train you and to guide you because it's like a bird. It's like a cage. You are a bird and we are like, it's a cage, but door is open. I trained you. You can fly, you can conquer the world. You can come back. You still be my student and you will feel so good. Otherwise, I'm locking that cage and I'm feeding you inside. What will happen?
Yeah, I'll just be under.
That you can't go, you can't fly, you can't see the world, you can't conquer. It shouldn't happen. Even the coaches think like that. You are fighters, let them fly, let them conquer the world. And you will be, the fighters will be your fighter only. They'll feel more happy. They will make your name as like very high level. You can feel proud. That's what, and the one what I want to think.
It's really, really great to have you on the show.
One pleasure.
I hope to see you soon. Obviously, I'll be training tomorrow, and in the upcoming days as well. And I hope to have you on the show again sometime soon. Okay, thank you so much for being here, for staying up.
Good, it's a pleasure. Okay.